Yes.
Josh Allen continues to look really good. But when you're talking about like Super Bowl contenders, you do have to nitpick. So like somebody at
Yeah.
home's going to be like, oh, well, they won the game, Chelsea. We still, I think, need to discuss the defense because the defense at times was giving up play after play to a Dolphins offense that feels pretty predictable, right?
Yeah.
So I think that like if there's one takeaway for Buffalo, like we know they're one of the best teams in the NFL, but like your standard is higher. So like we're trying to find sabotage factors for the Bills in the postseason. I think the defense could possibly be a problem.
It's always going to be this way, I feel like, with the Bills because they're so built around Josh Allen playing hero ball, and it's been very successful. But I will say this in their defense. Last night, they were absolutely not at full strength because Ed Oliver was out, and who else? Matt Milano was out as well.
Matt Milano.
So when you look at these two guys, these are two, not just guys, these are integral pieces of their defense on the defensive line, part of their linebacking core. And Milano in particular, going back the past couple seasons, has had a real issue staying healthy. But these injuries that kept these guys out last night are not long-term injuries, right? So they get those guys back in the lineup. They get reinforcements on the defensive line coming back after week 6 because of suspensions. And all of a sudden, the Bills, who could absolutely continue undefeated into next month, will be even better, at least personnel-wise, on defense. So the Bills have some work to do, and certainly there's some questions at safety as well. You see a lot of teams offensively want to attack them there. That's maybe one of their weaknesses. But they are going to get better in terms of getting guys back in the lineup. So if you're Buffalo, I think this defense, while not great, could be better here in a month or so.
Yeah, and I think this has been the sabotage factor over the last few years because we have heard, there has been years where statistically Buffalo was a great defense during the regular season, and then these injuries start to pile up in January. Like Matt Milano's been one of them, where you look at the postseason, they're like, oh, we're missing all these guys. But, your injuries usually don't get better by January. Like if we're talking about like on the whole, like there are guys that are going to get hurt just because it's a really long season. So I think the lack of depth on the defense for the Bills could be a problem. But the one good thing is this. It feels like this offense is pretty much unstoppable. Like when you say that, like imagine trying to defend Josh Allen and even what James Cook is doing. Like people don't really put James Cook in the category of like the best running backs in the NFL, but like he's put up some great numbers. And obviously it helps, when your backfield also includes Josh Allen, because it's tough for defenses to defend. But the good thing is they're probably still going to score like at least 30 points a game. So like the defense doesn't have to be perfect.
No, not at all. And I think it's a good point about James Cook. He has now scored a touchdown in 7 straight regular season games going back to last year. So that is tied for the team record. He's been great. And also, if you're looking at the Bills, I think there's a real possibility that they start 6-0 or close to it. If you look at their schedule coming off, they get 10 days off now to get ready for the Saints in Buffalo. That's a dub, right? So then it's another home game against the Patriots. That's winnable. Their toughest game, probably in week 6. They go on the road to face the Falcons, and the Falcons, they're going to be feisty this year. I think we've seen that already. But Buffalo is a team that could have that hot start and just roll through the first half of the season or close to it. And Josh Allen already looks like he could win back-to-back MVPs. Again, the caveat is it's early, but outside of the nitpicking on the defense, they look great.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely going to be a contender. And I think maybe the betting takeaway is when they play a decent offense, overs are going to be in play. Because the Bills can score points, and we've seen it that this Bills defense, like I know they only gave up 10 against the Jets, but then we had that shootout against the Ravens, and then this one went over the total, and it was a high total. So I think maybe that's a trend to watch for moving forward. It should be noted Dalton Kincaid had a big game in this one as well. He continues to be a very reliable target for Josh Allen. But in the meantime, like the Bills, like nothing has changed in my opinion. Like since the start of the season, there's been nothing that has really changed my mind on like the Bills being one of the best teams in football.
Yeah, they're awesome. I'm rooting for the Bills. I don't know how I happened upon a bunch of Bills fans that I know, but I'm ready for Bills Mafia to finally get a Super Bowl. I'd love it to be the Commanders, obviously. We'll see how that goes. But if not the Commanders, if your team isn't going to be the one to capture the title, then you sort of default and say, well, if not us, then them. And I'd really like Buffalo to get one. They've been so close so many times. And look, their one mortal enemy during the postseason has been who? the Chiefs, right? Again and again and again. And maybe this is the year when they can overcome Kansas City if the Chiefs get into the playoffs in the first place, which after an 0-2 start, not easy to do. But if there's a team that can do it, it's Kansas City. I just feel like this is the year that the Chiefs can be had if you're Buffalo.